Okay, guys, today on the internet, there's an interesting video going viral. Here on the internet today, we touch on a topic. I give my inputs on it, state some facts, and then pass the question off to you guys on the comment section below. Bit of a different video from what I normally do on the channel, but I want to give my input on the topic since it seems to be trending and people kind of have a strong opinion on this. Now, Gillette is a company who makes razor blades primarily for men. Now, recently they released an ad which seems to outline toxic masculinity. I'm sure you guys have seen it. If you haven't, I'll go ahead and post a link in the description for you guys to go ahead and check that out. So right off the bat, the one thing I want to touch upon is the business aspect of the advertisement. If you're a company that sells product to mostly a male demographic, it is really in your best interest to essentially not release an anti-masculine commercial. I say anti-masculine as the commercial paints kind of a broad stroke or picture going after men and their toxic masculinity. Now, before we touch on that specific part, I want to go ahead and talk about the commercial. It's seemingly going against a large majority of their core audience. Why would anyone at Gillette greenlight this? It's bizarre to me. I don't understand it. I assume they were trying to jump on a very trending topic and try to deliver a very seemingly good message, but at what cost? A large portion of your consumers? Doesn't make sense. I think this was a huge red flag and a massive fail on Gillette's part. And due to the poor PR, they were unable to ensure that the message wasn't received well the way it was received. Now, to touch on the part about the toxic masculinity, I think the message they sent was wrong and easily set up for misinterpretation. What I mean is, if somebody touches somebody without permission, as shown in the video, it's harassment. Now, masculinity has nothing to do with whether or not the person will harass somebody or not. It could be a female harassing a male harassing a female, or a female even harassing a male. It's just plain harassment. I believe you can harass somebody out of spite, hate, or assault someone just out of jealousy or envy. But being overly masculine has very little to no bearing at all on sexual harassment or sexual assault. The commercial instead tries to use toxic masculinity as an attempt to imply that sexual assault or harassment is a normal activity for masculine men, which is just wrong, and again, an easy way to piss off your core demographic. There's also this part of the video that shows violence towards this little boy, which when I saw it, I just saw plain bullying. Again, an act that can be performed between both genders, male or female. A girl can bully a boy, and a boy can bully a girl, and a girl can bully another girl. Masculinity to me has nothing to do with bullying to a specific person. Bullying usually comes from a person being physically different, or a different race or ethnicity, or having a learning illness or disability, even having a different sexual preference. Which again, I feel the commercial attempts to imply that bullying is a normal activity for masculine men, which is just wrong. And again, I gotta ask, Gillette, do you guys not like money? It even just goes so far to suggest that toxic masculinity is one of the causes for the Me Too movement, a movement that is against sexual harassment and sexual assault. The commercial pretty much doing this is the equivalent of blaming all cars for car accidents, instead of blaming the individual driver. As stated before, this advertisement easily misinterprets toxic masculinity and generalizes all bad behavior from one gender into one category, painting a broad stroke on all masculine men. So we ask, what is toxic masculinity? Well, according to Urban Dictionary, the only reliable source on the internet, wink, toxic masculinity is any male action that doesn't conform with liberal ideas of what a man should be in today's society. If he isn't sensitive and emotional and docile, he is accused of toxic masculinity. Now, whereas the people we know as douchebags or assholes before, now they are being blamed for being a product of male-driven society. So, from the commercial, did you guys think that toxic masculinity was just a man who isn't sensitive, docile, or emotional? Was that the only thing that came to mind when you thought of toxic masculinity? Yeah, me either. Now, the commercial did go on and touch on some good points, important topics like shining light on the Me Too movement, stop bullying. It even implies that we should give a better example to the next generation. All good things to touch upon and definitely a good message to relay. But that doesn't make up for the blatant attack on what seemed to be mostly on masculine men. My thoughts are this simple. Unfortunately, I think Gillette tried to touch on a trending topic and use the outrage from the commercial to try to turn a profit. It's a huge gamble for the company, but I personally feel it's going to backfire on them. But nevertheless, harassment, assault, and bullying, both of sexual and non-sexual manners, is a very real issue that we need to address in the society. But some see toxic masculinity as an important topic. I don't believe it should be so high on our list of priorities as a society. I believe toxic masculinity is just a byproduct of large feminist movement that because of the encouragement of more feminine males in society, it unintentionally led to a more outcast standpoint for masculine men in our society. But being masculine or feminine isn't an issue that our society should be focusing on, but instead we should be focusing on allowing people to be themselves and express themselves freely. But I pass the question on to you guys. What do you guys think about the commercial? What is your thoughts on the matter? What are you guys' thoughts on toxic masculinity? And go ahead and send me a tweet at mighty_flux. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. Have a great day. I'll see you on the next one.